Coming at you live from Kami House. It's the Dragon Balls Deep podcast with your hosts, Dev, Drew, and Adam.
Before we start, I need to clear something up. In the first episode, when we were talking about Emperor Pilaf and his cronies, I mistakenly called the girl Mao, but her name is actually Mai.
Same shit.
I know.
Total dog. There's that one letter. It's that little bitty ting.
There's a lot of purists out there, so my apologies for that.
Corrections department.
Also, in the previous episode, I combined Krillin and Radditz, and for some reason I referred to Krillin as Crittits.
Yeah,
I remember that. Credits.
I remember that too. I didn't say nothing.
I guess that can be their fusion name.
Oh my god. What would their hair look like?
I guess like Radditz.
It'd be like, no, it'd have to be like a mohawk.
I think it would.
Person.
I think that like Krillin plus Radditz would have like a George Costanza look.
That works.
Let's get into this, shall we?
Let's do it.
Dragon Ball Z, Episode 3, Unlikely Alliance. That's all I have. I gave up on the whole title gimmick. Someone else can have that. The original air date was May 10th, 1989 in Japan, and September 22nd, 1996 in the U.S. The show begins with Goku going for a swim and Gohan crying. Radditz reminds Goku that he must eliminate 100 people by the next day if he wants Gohan back. What if Goku killed 101 people? Does he get disqualified?
What if he kills like 99 people and a dog, though?
What about little people? Does that only count as half?
Do like bigger people count as like double or triple?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I mean, you never know there.
Radditz says that he decided to make Earth their new target after they finish their current job, and that everyone on the planet will be wiped out anyway. I always assumed that Frieza made these decisions as to what planets get invaded and sold. I didn't ever think the Saiyans had any kind of say in this.
I also noticed that Radditz, it seems like he changed his mind from the first episode where originally he was going to take Gohan with him if Goku didn't decide to join him. And now he's just saying he's going to kill him and use him as bait to get Goku to go.
Yeah, now he's just holding him ransom, it seems.
I think he realized that he didn't want to deal with this Chi-Chi's titty baby and have to train him and whatnot.
Radditz says that even without Goku, 3 Saiyans should be more than enough for the job of taking over Earth. But considering a few minutes earlier, he was saying that infant Goku could wipe out the planet in a year or two, I think 3 Saiyans seems like overkill.
I was gonna say they did say they could do it in their sleep, so I would like to see them actually try, like them sleepwalking, trying to take planet Earth.
A sleepwalking Saiyan seems like a dangerous thing.
I mean, if they could take it in their sleep.
That's what the Uzaru basically is, because, well, when they have no control over it, like Goku or Gohan.
Yeah, it just kind of happens.
Refresh my memory. What did you just say? Uzaru?
Uzaru.
That's the name of the great apes that they turn into.
Is that like the Japanese name or something?
It's just what they call them. It's just either Uzaru or great ape or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's like a Saiyan word. It's not like a Japanese or English word or anything like that. It's like a Saiyan word. You
might be right about that. Radditz says that whether or not Goku kills 100 people or not, the end result is the same. So why bother with any of this in the first place? Just get it over with.
Yeah, right. Like that seems kind of redundant. Like, okay, so you want me to kill 100 people just to prove I can kill 100 people, and then you guys come back here and just kill everybody? Like,
All right, he's making all these demands, but at the same time, he's kind of making them pointless.
I think he's toying with him a little bit. Like he's probably having some joy out of fucking with Goku for just being
I think there's a bit of bluffing going on.
I think maybe he also just wants to make sure that Goku's not going to be a big waste of time and he's actually going to be capable of killing people.
For sure, it's a test. Yeah.
And does it? And here's the thing. I was gonna ask this too in the last episode, but I'm gonna ask it in this episode. 100 doesn't seem like a lot. Like, I mean, like if you could, like,
we don't
if you
know
said
how many.
If you said like 1,000, like then I'd be like, all right, 1,000. That's like a task. But 100 people in 24 hours. I mean, you could do that in like 2 hours. That's easy.
Yeah. Well, on one hand, we don't know the population of this Earth. It could be, 1 million or 2 million. But maybe for the dub they toned it down so it didn't seem too graphic.
Well, that brings up another question: is how there's all those like humanoid animals around? Like, do these count as people?
Right.
Like, if I kill like 100 bear people, does that count as 100 people?
It only counts if they talk.
I would think they count. Like
all lives matter.
Like if they killed Shu, I think that would count.
Yeah, like all lives matter when it comes to saying destruction.
All lives matter.
I mean, in their case, no lives matter because they're just gonna. I mean, they're just gonna kill everybody anyway.
Radditz is woke as fuck.
That's a good slogan for the Saiyans. No lives matter.
No lives matter. Radditz woke as fuck.
As fuck. Goku begs Radditz to let Gohan go and leave him out of this. Radditz tells him to show some pride. I guess this is really a Saiyan thing, and it's not just Vegeta.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like the one of the only times that Goku shows emotion about his son is when Radditz is about to take him away. Like, he didn't care that he was getting chased by saber-toothed tigers
And shit.
Yeah, didn't care he was falling down 100 feet waterfalls. It's like, no, the moment this long-haired motherfucker that threatens my hairline comes in here and tries to take my son, oh, it's on, bitch.
I think it's because of maybe it's because he doesn't want to deal with Chi-Chi.
I mean, that could all, it all boils back down to Chi-Chi.
Right? It's not because he cares, it's because of what Chi-Chi will do.
For real, yeah. Like, Chi-Chi would be literally balls deep in his ass. And not the good way. Yeah, to say not the good way.
Goku was going for that Emmy performance too, crying on the beach there.
Yeah.
Right.
I noticed that. I was like, all right, tone it down a little bit, method
when the
actor.
episode started, it looked like he was in a completely different place than the last episode. He was like in the water.
Yep, that dramatic effect.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'd say this is probably like the most serious tone the series has had. Like the last time, like I'd say it got this serious was when Krillin and Roshi died in Dragon Ball. But they start right off the bat, episode 3, like shit gets real.
Yeah, they don't fuck around.
Yeah, no, it's like, this is our strongest character right now. Have fun, Goku.
Like, all the characters like are a lot more vulnerable right now. Like, they mentioned that the Dragon Balls, like, you can only make wishes once with Shenron. You can't grant the same wish one more once.
Exactly.
So that's a real thing now.
Shenron is damn rules.
Right. Radditz.
I was like, go ahead. I was just gonna say, isn't there like a time limit to when you can resummon Shenron?
Yeah,
you have to wait a full year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, you gotta wait a full year.
The Dragon Balls just look like rocks until a year's passed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They turn to stone. Radditz flies away with Gohan. Goku calls Nimbus to go after Radditz, but the others stop him to tell him that they need to use their heads and outsmart him. Bulma, being the only one with any common sense here, points out that if Radditz really wanted to harm Gohan, he would have already. Krillin, the master of observation, points out that Radditz stunk. Thanks, Krillin.
Which is completely added by the American version, not in the dub at all.
Oh, of course.
That is kind of fun. I mean, maybe Saiyans do kind of have like that, primate-y type smell.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, they probably dirty pretty quick. Plus all that hair.
Right? Yeah, definitely smell like an animal's den.
Goku remembers that when he was a child, his tail was his weakness, and that it must be the same for Radditz. Krillin points out that Radditz won't just let Goku walk up and grab his tail. Goku agrees to this and says he'll need some help, which Krillin pussies out. But Machiroshi steps up and says that he and Krillin will do whatever it takes. Krillin reluctantly agrees.
I mean, he doesn't really have much of a choice. But Master Roshi's like, motherfucker, I'm volunteering you to do this.
Basically.
What's Krillin gonna do? Be like, no.
Bitch, you living in my house, motherfucker.
Right, exactly.
Better pull your weight.
You better pull your goddamn weight, Baldy. I'm tired of you sitting here eating all the goddamn packages that Bulma leaves for me. I'm tired of you fucking sleeping and snoring up the goddamn house. I'm tired of you just being a smelly bald bastard with weird dots on your head.
And Roshi might be at the point where like he's getting old. He might just want to die already. Just go out on a shield.
Roshi wants to get laid and just probably then die.
He probably thinks he has a...
Didn't Roshi drink from some special lake that makes him...
No, it was a bird. It was the fucking... Some sort of fucking bird.
But it did something to him, right? It made him like his...
Yeah, it's like he can...
Lives really long.
He's like immortal to a certain point. Like age,
Yeah.
He can never like die of old age.
Right.
But yes,
That's what it is.
and he offered, and I read up on this because I guess it was some bird that gave him the immortal power, and he initially offered that to Goku when before he gave him the Nimbus as payment for whatever he did. I forget. But I guess then he remembered that he accidentally killed the bird with like a poison food or something. I don't know.
Oops.
Yeah. Krillin asks Bulma if she'll wish him back with the Dragon Balls should anything happen to him. But Goku points out that Krillin and Roshi have already died once, and that Shenron cannot bring people back more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Krillin thinks to himself that he should help Goku, but at the same time, he thinks it's crazy because he won't stand a chance, and also because he's too young to die, and he's never had a girlfriend. That's going to change in the future, and I can't wait to talk about her.
And for those who care, it's the immortal phoenix. It was the bird.
Roshi killed a damn phoenix.
Dick move, Rosh. Dick move. Well, I mean, you can't really kill a phoenix.
Why don't they just wish him back?
That's why it says he died ironically.
I mean, the whole thing about a phoenix is if you kill it, it just comes back from its ashes.
Yep, I guess not if you feed it the wrong fucking bird seeds.
Apparently, as I say, apparently.
Or if you master. Bulma suggests collecting the Dragon Balls and asking Shenron to save the planet. No one says that this won't work. Roshi just says that they can't gather the balls in one day, and I call bullshit.
Well, not to mention Radditz has one of the balls.
And Goku has two more at his house. And they have the Dragon Radar. So
I was gonna say, if you look when they're tracking, because that's when they figure out to track Gohan, right?
Yeah, they try. It's coming up, but yeah.
I was gonna say, my bad. I'll wait.
No, go ahead. I know what you're gonna say. When
I was just gonna say,
at the radar, you can see all of them.
You see all the fucking Dragon Balls like right there. Like there's like 6 of them right there.
Right, and not only that, but in the Buu saga, Bulma, Yamcha, and Videl, they collect the Dragon Balls in just a few hours.
I was gonna say they get them motherfuckers real Ricky Tick.
So couldn't they at least try?
Nah. They're like, well, we're a little lazy this time. It's not really that big of a threat.
It's just Gohan. Who cares?
Right? Nobody gives a shit.
Goku says the best idea is to attack Radditz head on because he'd never expect it, but I think he would totally expect it because he has a scouter. And this
Piccolo mentions that too.
Right. Roshi asks how they would even find Radditz. Bulma says they can use the Dragon Radar since Gohan has a Dragon Ball in his hat. And that goes back to everything we just talked about.
Right.
As the gang prepares to go after Radditz, a dark and ominous voice interrupts them and says, "You'll never succeed." And they notice Piccolo hovering above them. Krillin says, "I wonder what else could go wrong today," to which Piccolo replies with, "I suppose you could make me angry."
Oh, Piccolo.
Piccolo's pretty dope.
You gotta imagine like Krillin just shits his pants every time he sees Piccolo.
Probably.
That's right, yeah.
He's
like
got PSTD.
Exactly. Every time he sees that damn turban, he's like, "Oh shit!"
Did you say PSTD?
No, PSTD. He's got that.
What's that mean?
Post
sexually transmitted
disease. Yeah.
Aren't all to STDs post though?
True.
Anyway.
Damn you.
Piccolo says he's been keeping an eye on Radditz and that he followed him here. So he's been watching the whole time, I guess.
That's a little voyeury right there, you know. I think Piccolo likes to watch.
But Goku does this a lot too later in the series.
Well, he'll be like, "I was watching you."
Right.
Well, that's how he game plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watches that someone else get the fucking shit kicked out of him first.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hold on, let me see how this guy fares against him first.
Piccolo says that the only chance they have of defeating Radditz is if Piccolo and Goku team up. Goku is hesitant at first, and Piccolo admits that he's only doing this for selfish reasons, and that he couldn't care less what happens to Gohan. Actually, he says he could care less.
I could care a lot less, but you know, I'm too lazy to do it, bro. It's like that's how much I don't care.
It's funny he says this though, because in a few hours he basically becomes Gohan's adopted father.
Yeah, not even.
More than that, really.
Yeah.
Piccolo says he doesn't want Radditz to take over the Earth because he wants to do it himself. So at least he's honest.
I mean, you know, he's still whatchamacallit. He's still butthurt about what happened the last time that he tried to do that.
Piccolo says that this is just a temporary truce, and afterwards they will fight as enemies. Goku agrees, and the team of Goku and Piccolo is born.
Woohoo! For now. That's the first. These are the what is it? I mean, if you think about it, this is like basically the Avenger origin story, because you got Krillin, and then you got Piccolo, and you got Goku, and these are pretty much the first the OG Z fighters.
You got Tien out there somewhere.
But he's
and
not. I mean,
fuckboy Yamcha.
Yeah, as I said, you got those two, but they're like they're not really like, you know, they're not OG. They're more like, you know, like if Goku, Krillin, and Piccolo.
I think there's OGs it gets, considering, you know.
But they're not.
Yamcha's one of the first people they meet.
I definitely Tien definitely did some shit. Like I got some respect for him from Dragon Ball.
But I'm saying, since we're in Dragon Ball Z, now we get the introduction of the Z fighters.
Yeah, the Z fighters. The gang, as Chi calls it.
The gang.
Tien holds his own even in like the Cell Saga a little bit.
Yeah, he keeps selling Tien over there, making squares out of triangles.
Yeah, so he's not a nobody. I'd say he's more useful than Krillin. Or maybe it's debatable.
Debatable. I think Krillin.
Krillin's definitely has his MVP moments.
Yeah. He's always there helping, even when he doesn't want to.
Always there dying.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, even in his dying, I was going to say, even in his dying, Krillin still comes through. Like, that's what basically, well, you know, everybody knows.
He was there to fight Vegeta, Nappa. He was there on Namek. He was at the Cell Games. And he fucked everyone over, though, with Android 18.
Yeah.
That was kind of his fault.
Well, you know, he was blind. He was blinded by the pubic hairs.
He put the
Or do
pussy on the
androids have
pedestal.
pubic hairs?
Right.
Do androids have pubes? We'll have to cover that.
They might. I mean,
That's when we get to the android saga.
does the meanwhile, Bulma and Krillin wonder if this is a good idea and if they can really trust Piccolo. Roshi, who is clearly still drunk, tells them to get over it and that this is going to be the fight of the century.
Oh, Roshi, always getting his Jim Leahy on.
Roshi's a better promoter than Dana White. Roshi was hype as fuck for this.
But he was also drunk, so I mean,
That's
that could be
true.
the booze talking.
That's true.
But then again,
Good point.
the liquor always knows, so the liquor probably gave him the idea. So
Roshi is the liquor.
if she is the liquor,
Roshi was on booze control.
for real.
Next, we got a scene of Chi-Chi doing something. I didn't pay attention to this.
What is she like? Didn't she have like a bad feeling or something? Hold on.
I don't. I fucking tuned out.
You know what? Like
PMSing.
I was gonna say, like when The Rock asks you what your name is, it doesn't matter.
Radditz locks Gohan in a space pod because he won't stop crying. And I still don't see how Radditz can actually fit in this thing, because when it showed Gohan in it, even Gohan barely took up a lot. He took up a lot of room in this pod. So I think there's some inconsistencies going on.
Maybe that's the power of the pod itself. The pod shrinks and grows. The power of the pod. Maybe that's what it does. It shrinks and grows depending on who's in it.
I think you're giving the animators too much credit. I don't
Listen,
think they
man,
thought
it's
about
anime.
this.
You just gotta help them out. It's like, okay, yeah, I totally get it, bro. Yeah, this is what it was.
Chalk it up to anime.
Yeah.
Radditz decides he's hungry, but he's interrupted when his scouter reads a giant power level, which turns out to be Gohan. And this is shocking to Radditz, but he just assumes that his scouter is broken, so he turns it off. We then see Radditz eating what appears to be a bear.
Somebody's definitely not a vegan.
I saw it looked like a bear paw, and he threw bones down, so I'm guessing he ate a bear.
He's on that paleo diet. He's on that Joe Rogan diet.
He says that
Keto kid.
hashtag elk.
Hashtag elk straps.
He says next time he'll cook the meat, which is pretty fucked.
Ugh.
It's a good thing Piccolo kills him, because otherwise the trichinosis certainly would have.
No, it's that. Goku had the diverticulitis.
Yeah, Goku had the diverticulitis. Radditz turns his scouter back on, which continues to read Gohan having an extremely high power level. He still thinks it's malfunctioning and notes that he didn't bring the manual. So
There's a manual for scouters.
Right. Are they mass producing these scouters and selling them in stores?
IKEA is. That's probably why. He didn't bring the manual because he couldn't read that shit.
Are there different brands and models of scouters?
There's the Ukhfag.
Is this like a knockoff?
I think they do mention that there's different models of the scouters at some point.
That would make sense with the the technology evolving.
Yeah, upgrading as you go.
Right.
That works.
The scouter then picks up 2 power levels coming towards Radditz, who thinks for a moment that it might be Goku, since his power level is the same as the one that the scouter is reading, but he thinks that Goku wouldn't do that, and that Goku couldn't find him anyway, so he turns the scouter back off. Goku and Piccolo arrive, which makes Radditz realize that the scouter is in fact not broken, and then he realizes that Gohan's power level is very real.
He ain't fucking around.
Goku and Radditz bicker at each other back and forth for what seems like 20 minutes. But thankfully, Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I mean, when you have to before you fight, you have to. I mean, you have to talk shit.
Especially when you're brothers.
I was gonna say every time you face off. I mean, they're facing off. They're talking shit at the weigh-ins. Come on.
But thankfully, Piccolo feels the same way that I did, and he says that he's heard enough, and he throws off all of his gear, and he throws down the gauntlet, and prepares to fight.
The weighted gloves are coming off.
Right. Goku, about this part, Goku notices that Piccolo's gear is weighted and says that he didn't know Piccolo trained in weighted clothing too. So I was kind of confused here, and I thought they had this conversation in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, I guess.
Or is this where it gets established?
Well, I looked it up, and I guess in Dragon Ball, Kami was the one who taught Goku about weighted clothing training.
Well, that makes sense why Piccolo would have it then.
Exactly.
Okay. Coming full circle.
There we go. Boom. That's what we do on Dragon Ball's Deep.
Goku removes his weighted clothing too, and this raises his and Piccolo's power level. Radditz yells at Goku that he's a disgrace to all Saiyans and to prepare to die, as the wind magically blows his hair for dramatic effect. Or it could have been him just powering up.
I mean, either way.
Either way, his hair got all wavy and shit.
Right? If you have, I mean, you have to think, if you have a head of hair like that, you're going to do some special effect type shit with it. Like, it's not there for nothing.
Radditz attacks first, and in one swift move managed to land a hit on both Piccolo and Goku, who are both shocked at how fast Radditz is.
World star!
Radditz says that he's just getting warmed up, as Goku and Piccolo shit themselves. Then Mr. Narrator chimes in to send us off, and that's the episode.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a hype episode. It was a hype episode.
Yeah, it was good overall. It's nice to see Piccolo. Piccolo's always good to see.
Especially badass Piccolo.
Yeah, especially badass Piccolo. Don't take no shit, Piccolo. Gohan's power level being revealed. So, shit's starting to get good.
Yeah, it's definitely. And then, you got the way Radditz just was like, "Oh yeah, you two showed up and you took your earrings off. Oh, that's cute. Get the fuck out of my face."
Yeah.
There's a lot of those moments there. Which is one of the hilarious things about Dragon Ball Z is that there's a lot of those. Oh, you did all this? Oh, you did this, and this? Oh, you bad at? And then just one swipe, like, get the fuck out of here.
There's a lot of recurring scenes like that.
Yeah.
That and the oh my god, this power.
Yeah, this power level. I've never felt anything like this before.
Anyone have anything else to add?
I mean,
I think we covered it pretty good.
Yeah, it was just like I said, it was just a hype episode. So,
well, on that note, I guess we'll wrap things up.
Plugs.
Give us a follow over on Twitter at DBDPod. Come say hello to us over at our forums at timewasted.tv/forums. And as always,
tune in next time for another episode of Dragon Balls Deep.